So one more quick video before I hit the sack here. A lot of these survival guys really want to act butch and well, that's not survival. They knock people for doing their own thing, and to be honest, things like gardening, that's survival. Whether you think it is or not, it may not be hardcore, but it's still survival, still self-sufficiency, still being prepared. If you can't grow your food now, what makes you think you can grow it in less than favorable conditions? I encourage everybody to have a garden. Everybody, whether you're trying to get prepared or not. Just taking some of the stress and some of the load off the farmers. It's kind of what they need. Drive the food prices back down through supply. Or if they have an oversupply, help these farmers out a little bit, because they're not making the money. A place like King Soopers are. So, and what can you trust anymore with all these Roundup Ready products and all the chemicals and everything? But anyways, let's stay on topic here. Gardening is survival in many aspects. Not just the fact that, gardening and cooking. If you just store rice and beans, what kind of meal plan is that? And you think you're going to grow in the end of the world as we know it scenario? Got news for you, probably not. If you've never done it before, it's not going to happen. Especially if you think you can just plant things in the ground, no water, no ideas to hold water, nothing, just stock up water for yourself, and that's it. Well, you need to learn these principles now. We all do, not just as a community, not just as people, but as a community. And there's a big movement right now going back to grassroots and getting back to the land, the earth, it's not even just the green movement. It's also the homestead movement, the prepper movement. Everything about it is, let's get back to our roots, back to liberty, back to freedom. And gardening is part of that. Being prepared is part of that. Knowing that you're taken care of and that your family's taken care of. That's what it's about. And some guys will say, well, I'm just going to steal what my neighbor's got. Come on. Be realistic. You're going to go kill Mrs. Johnson that helped you out in a time of need? No, you're not. No, it's not going to happen. And some guys have said, well, it's a lot easier to feed your neighbor the rice and beans you have in storage and in your preps than it is to shoot them because they want your food. And then you can have garden parties and all sorts of the possibilities are endless. If you take anything from this video, I want you to take that gardening is part of survival. If you don't know what to grow, how to grow it, you're not going to survive. You might be able to hunt, but people think, in the end of the world situation, they're just going to go out to the woods and hunt deer. Well, have you ever seen the woods on the first day of rifle season for deer or elk? Scattered 3 sheets to the wind. And if you imagine a city the size of even just Denver, 1 million people. Imagine 1 million people instead of, let's say, 10,000 that go hunting every year. It's not, no. It ain't going to happen. You're going to need to grow your own food. And even if you do hunt every day and that's all you have, that's where you're telling me that's going to be your only option is eating meat all the time, that's it? It's just not feasible. So, like I said, if you take anything from this, it's that starting a garden isn't hard. I did it in a weekend. I water it, not even a weekend, one day. I think it was 3 hours I have in this garden. Just getting the bed set up. Once it's set up, you're done. And I'm setting it up as a fairly low maintenance garden, and it's better for you. You know where your food came from. So instead of spending $4 for that organic tomato, grow your own. No, you know it's organic. You know where it came from. You know there's no pesticides and nobody can screw with you. And then you can teach it down to your kids. And that's really what it's about. It's not even about our generation. It's not about us. It's about what are we leaving behind for our grandkids, our great-grandkids. You know, it's about the community. It's about the neighborhood. It's about us as people. We need to look out for each other. You know, just throw the political views aside, throw the election aside, throw everything out and just look at the people. You know, take responsibility for you, yourselves, and look out for your family. And if you can, help out your neighbor, because they may need it more than you. You know, and don't be too quick to pass judgment. It's easy to do that these days with all the labels floating around, but believe in us again, and community, because I guarantee you, if the world as we know it comes to an end, not life on the planet, but the world as we know it, electricity, things like that, community is where everybody will turn. And if you have it now, it's a lot easier than if you have to build it later on. Good night. God bless.